Hello everyone, I welcome each and every one of you to this introduction video for the course Micropython on Raspberry Pi Pico. So particularly in this course, we are just going to do a lot of things. Basically, we are just going to learn how to write down the Python scripts for interfacing devices such as digital, analog, communication devices to this particular Raspberry Pi Pico, and later on we are just going to learn few techniques for building IoT applications. We are just going to communicate with the cloud server using Raspberry Pi Pico by developing the relevant Python scripts in the respective IDE. So these are all the major things, and in addition to that we are just going to build a lot of steps. Don't worry about it, everything I will start from base. We are just going to learn and explore each and everything together. Just keep in mind, I am not going to describe more in this video, but I'm not going to make this video just as an introduction video. Instead, I'm just going to install two major things. Let's make it clear, we are just going to make two things. One is installing the IDE required for building the Python scripts for Raspberry Pi Pico, and another one is we are just going to download the Micropython image onto the Raspberry Pi Pico. These are the two things that we are going to do. I'm not going to make this video very simple by just giving introduction to this particular course, and in the runtime we will learn, or by looking at the playlist itself you will be able to gain knowledge what for this course is. So to be straightforward, this course will gain you with the knowledge of interfacing all the digital, analog, communication protocol based devices to Raspberry Pi Pico, and also it will teach you, or it will guide you to build IoT applications. I'm just going to explore few IoT platforms over the internet for communicating data to the cloud using Raspberry Pi Pico by developing the relevant Python scripts for building the IoT applications. So these are all the things, basic things that I'm going to do. So that's all about the course. Let's start with the installation of the integrated development environment, which we are going to use throughout this course for building applications using Raspberry Pi Pico. So the IDE that I'm going to install is Tony IDE. Tony IDE, I'm just typing it. Here you can see, you can go to this official website of Tony, that is tony.org, for installing the relevant IDE for your PC. Here just click on this particular Windows and click on this 64-bit or 32-bit based on your operating system. My PC is having Windows 64-bit OS, so I'm just clicking on this for downloading the relevant IDE for my PC. And one more thing that we want to install is Raspberry Pi Pico Micropython image. Just type in Raspberry Pi Pico Micropython installation and go to this particular raspberrypi.com website for finding the Micropython image for your Raspberry Pi Pico board. So just scroll down a bit, and here you can see download the correct Micropython UF2 file for your board. In my case, I am using Pico W. If you are using a standard Pico board, just download this image. If you are using Pico W, you can just download this. I am just giving this. It is downloaded. Boom. Now I'm just going to move these two things which I have downloaded to downloads folder which I have created. I'm just going to install the Tony IDE. Double click on this setup that is installed, setup that is downloaded, and here I'm just going to give install for me only. Next, 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 next. It is asking me whether it to create a desktop icon. I'm just clicking on this checkbox and next install. It is a straightforward installation process. It will install. Meanwhile, let us see how you can import this particular Micropython image onto the Raspberry Pi Pico. Now I'm just connecting the Raspberry Pi Pico W to my PC through micro USB cable, and as soon as I connect, you can see one local disk is popped out named with RPI-RP2. When I open my computer, you can see this is the Raspberry Pi Pico device that is connected to my PC. So what we want to do is, for installing the Micropython image that we have downloaded, just click on this image, hold the left mouse button and drag and drop this particular file to this local disk, that is to the Raspberry Pi disk showing in your this PC. That's all. It has been successfully installed. Now the Tony ID is also installed. I hope you can see. Great, it is success. Finish. So now we have just successfully installed the Tony IDE, as well as we just loaded the Micropython image onto the Raspberry Pi Pico development board, W development board. I am opening the Tony IDE for writing and testing the first Hello World program in our Python on Raspberry Pi Pico W. And as soon as you open the Tony IDE, the first and foremost thing that you want to do is you just want to select the correct COM number to which the Raspberry Pi Pico is connected. For finding that, you can either go to the device manager of the PC, and in the device manager just click on the arrow near the ports. You can see there is a USB port connected in the COM3. Now move to the Tony IDE and here click on Tools tab and click on Options. In this Tools Options window, just click on the interpreter and click on this drop down box and select the Raspberry Pi Pico. And in the port or W Web REPL drop down, just select the COM3. Click on OK. And as soon as you select the correct COM number, you can see here that this message must be popped out. Just make sure that, else your Micropython image is not yet loaded in your Raspberry Pi Pico. Just make sure that you are getting this message printed in the cell right over here. Now you are free to run the Python scripts on Raspberry Pi Pico. Now if I write like print hello Pico, when I run this, here you can see this is the output. So whenever I type something right over here in the cell, what happens is it goes through the USB cable to the Raspberry Pi Pico, and the Raspberry Pi Pico executes this particular line and it pops out the output right over here, which is fetched from the Raspberry Pi Pico. This is what happens here. This is just for testing purpose, but the actual part we will be writing right over here in the editor part. Now I'm just going to save this in this computer. Moving to my downloads, here I'm creating Pico Python scripts. I'm going to give it as hello world. Here I can type like hello, print hello from SM Academy. I am saving this. To run the program in Raspberry Pi Pico, just connect the Raspberry Pi Pico to the PC through micro USB cable and click on this particular icon or F5 in my keyboard. When I click on this particular icon, you can see the output is popped out here. Hello from SM Academy. So this is the first program that we have written right over here in this particular video. I hope you successfully learned how to download Tony IDE for writing the Python scripts for Raspberry Pi Pico, and also you loaded the Micropython image onto the Raspberry Pi Pico by downloading it from the official website of Raspberry Pi. So these are the two things that I want you to know from this particular video, and from the next video we will be diving into the embedded concepts for developing Python scripts. In addition to all these things, we are just going to go through some basic Python tutorials for understanding the concepts or the scripts in detail. So if you are not understanding the Python programming language thoroughly, you will not understand what is going around, or you must have a basic understanding of Python programming language before going through this course. So that is why I have already made few Python programming tutorials for making you clear in the concepts of Python for building all these applications in Raspberry Pi Pico by writing the scripts in Micropython. So I hope you learned something new in this particular video. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.